we're bringing it back.
I agree. All right, so no, I am not going to put you on a treadmill, although some of you I might want to run around the building a little bit. But what we want to do is kind of take what we've talked about, and again, we have given you a small slice of stuff because we could overwhelm you. We want to make sure we're not doing that. But we want to talk to you a little bit about how do you put this into practice. And we're going to do that around a specific theme. So one of the things we're moving into is helping parishes and clergy kind of build a movement. And you're like, oh, what does that mean? That basically means how do you engage your community around a specific theme using some of our resources and getting them excited about it. And so just to throw a little fire or a little oil on the fire,
Yeah, that's
something like that, we're going to talk about migration. All right, and we're going to talk, this is going to be your theme. And it's not how, yeah, we're not going to politicize it. But this is what the church says about migration, okay? And I know it's small, but this is coming from the USCCB. Basically, the 5 principles for our church's approach to migration is people have the right to find opportunities in their homeland, first and foremost. And if you talk to most people who are migrating, they don't want to leave. Every Syrian I have talked to in my travels, I have said, do you want to go home? And they said, I didn't want to leave. Why would I want to leave my country? Right? So they have the right to find opportunities in their homeland. They have the right to migrate to support themselves and the families. That's their God-given right. They have, sovereign nations have the right to control their borders. Not going to get into that, but we do. Refugees and asylum seekers should be afforded protection. All right? So basically, if they are fleeing wars and persecution, they should be protected by the global community. The human dignity and human rights of undocumented migrants should be respected. Okay? And you can find this on the USCCB website. These are the 5 principles of migration. This is what the church is saying about migration. And I think this is important because of what our friends might say about migration, what our government might say about migration. Most of the people, as I showed you in my earlier slides about Syrians, most of the time in the news we see guns and fighting and that's what we think, right? The reality of it is most of the people that are in Tijuana right now waiting for asylum are not rapists and drug dealers and whatever else. They are families that if they do not flee, they will die because they're fleeing from violence, from gangs, from whatever. There is no opportunity in their home country to provide for their family. If they do not flee and get jobs, their families will die. So that is their right. All right. We can debate this, I'm sure, for hours. I do not have a I do not have a bottle of wine in front of me to debate this, so we're not going to, because that's what I would need. So what we want you to do is, we'll do it in some small groups. No offense, but I'm going to split you 2 up. Not forever, but just for today.
Are you split up? You want to bring the candy with you?
So I want you and you 4 to be one group, and you're going to join these lovely people down here and be another group, okay? What we want you to do is identify, we want you to create a movement. How are you going to create a movement around migration? So you need to identify who the leaders are in your parish or your community, and if you don't like your current parish, don't tell me, just make up people in another parish that you like or whatever. How would you go about getting others involved? So these are kind of the steps that you want to take in order to build a movement, right? You want to identify leaders who are going to help you do this. You want to figure out how you're going to get other people involved. Then you're going to identify what resources you could use from the resources we just gave you. And if there are others that you might need, identify those. And the theme is migration. How are you going to create a movement around migration? Clear? All right, I'm going to give you... Well, do you think I'm going to stand up here and work all day without making you work? You're nuts! No way, Jose! It's either this or you get homework.
This is good.
All right. All right, I'm going gonna give you until 5 minutes of 3 to do this, all right? So get in your groups and pretend you like each other for a minute. If some of you want to go in the dining room where it's quiet, you can do that, or cooler.
I like you.
Oh, that's